That's correct. And after that, I kept contact with him, even though it was not regularly. But he's a person that I kept contact with him as a person of a high profile. Once in a while, we do have to chat on some other general things, maybe 6 months, 8 months, but it was not regular. But I kept contact with him.
Why? What would have been your common interest to keep contact with
my
Mr.
common interest, Chair, this is I know this person as a premier, and I'm having now his direct contact with him. So he's a person I look up to as our high profile in the government, in politics. You only see these people on TV. Then once you have that, then I kept contact that now I know a premier.
Nobody.
For the status, I know the premier. Like for instance, here in this room, if I can get a number, I'll keep it. I'll keep it. These are high people I will look up to. You see them on TV. Now I've got a direct contact with that person.
But he was now a former premier in 2017 when you started your investigation as a IPID investigator. He was a former premier. And by the time you reported to the Hawks that the case should no longer, or recommended that the case should no longer be pursued, he was still the former premier.
In correcting that statement, Chair, there was no such report that the case should not be pursued. So I think we need to correct that. My recommendation was basically, if you feel that the case needs to be reopened, these are correct procedures that you need to follow, because the complainant feel harassment. Yeah, so that is it. So, Chair, if you can repeat your question. There are even numbers I have for members of this committee. I keep it for future reference.
No, Chair, I wanted to check. Okay. I wanted to check when Mr. Nkabinde is saying that frequently he would call Minister Mkhwanazi. Yes. Okay. I'm just checking if they did talk with the case he was investigating up until the time he got to be appointed to be the Chief of Staff.
Chairperson, firstly, I will need to correct frequently. What I said, I kept contact with Minister Mkhwanazi, even though it was not frequent.
So you say
Yes.
it was infrequent?
It was infrequent. Yes, yes. Yeah. And about the case, when I made that report, Chair, I did send a formal feedback letter to the complainant about the feedback of my investigation and my findings. And about the case, Honorable Chair, that was the last time we spoke about it. After that, we even never touched on it. Thank you, Chair.
How long did it take you to, or when did you start the investigation of the complaint? How long did it take you to conclude your report and submit it to the authorities?
Immediately after our visit with Mr. McBride, immediately I started with my investigation.
That was in 2017.
It was in 2017, and it took hardly a month to finalize it. Then I submitted the report. It was only about perusing document and interviewing relevant people. Then I submit my findings and recommendations. It was hardly a month, sir.
You also want to remind us that this is a case which the DPP has declined to prosecute 5 years previously.
That's correct, Chair.
Thank you. SC, you may proceed. What about the number?
I will be very glad.
And nothing beyond the number, Honorable Sokanyile.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. Mr. Nkabinde, you say at paragraph 26 of your statement that Minister Mkhwanazi and I continued to have a relationship after the investigation, which over the year developed as we kept in contact.
That is correct, Chair.
So can you explain, because that seems to indicate something more than just infrequent contact with a person, with a high-profile person, or a person that might be of use to you in the future because of his high profile? But this describes a relationship. So what was that relationship? What is the nature of the relationship? Or the
Chair,
basis?
sorry, Chair, to interject. What I basically mean here is that even after a professional and official investigation, we never stopped talking to each other, even if it was not about the case anymore. That's what I was trying to mean here, that after the case is finalized, it did not end there for me to be in contact with him, even though it was not so frequent. But in general speaking, not necessarily there was a specific matter after that. General speaking.
Well, I think it is quite your job as a professional IPID investigator. You've interviewed him as a complainant. You've done your job. You now leave IPID. Fortunately for him, the case has now been resolved. But prior to you being introduced to him by McBride in 2017, you don't know him at all.
That's correct.
Once you complete your job, you seem to say that you just randomly contact him from time to time. What are you talking about? Politics? Football?
No, it's something. What? It's general things like for instance, if I can make example, at one stage I was in the north side of KZN. Then when I pass Mpangeni, I remember that there's a person I know here, if he's at home. Then he welcomed me. I came past by just to greet him and talk general things. There was absolutely nothing. In fact, there was even nothing. He was even out of government. There was nothing we could relate, except that I was the one who thought it fit to keep this contact of a person which I see him as a high regard. Chair, in the context of this, it was not that the next day I had a planned appointment with Minister Mkhwanazi. When General Mkhwanazi wanted me to accompany him to Mpangeni area, then I just started that, oh, there's a person there that I was planning at one stage. It's been a while. Go and see him. So if you want me to go there with you, let's rather pass by and I want to greet the minister, of which General had no problem, and if also the minister had no problem.
Can you tell us why Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi would want to meet the Minister of Water and Sanitation?
General Mkhwanazi has never wanted to meet the minister. We were going to Mpangeni area as friends, two of us, to do our things. Then while we were in Mpangeni, I said, let's go past. I checked, the minister is around. Let's go past and greet him. That's how General Mkhwanazi has never even said he wants to meet the minister. It was just that we are now at Mpangeni, then it clicked my mind that the minister's house is at Mpangeni, and it's been a while, I never even meet him. Then I said, no, let's go past there. And fortunately, the minister had no problem as well. Then we passed.
And you say at paragraph 33, in the middle of that paragraph, I went with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi to Mpangeni to attend to his errands,
That's correct, Chair.
as he had asked me, and we also stopped by at Minister Mkhulu's house when you introduced him to Minister Mkhulu.
That's correct, Chair.
What were those errands that you referred to?
Chair, I wrote it deliberately like this because it was personal stuff of General Mkhwanazi, where I was accompanied. General Mkhwanazi was a very close friend of mine. I think it's safe to say it was a boys' trip. Safe to say like that. Otherwise, me and him will get into trouble. Because I believe his wife and my wife are watching here. So I don't want to delve much.
So you can't tell us much more, is it personal?
Yeah, no, it was very personal. Things that we do with him are sometimes very personal.
So wasn't Minister Mkhulu curious that the two of you're on a boys' trip? What are you doing coming to visit him?
He did not even ask, what are you doing here? He did not even know we were in Pangen for what.
Describe to us your relationship with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. It seems to be, I can't hear.
Honorable members, a boys' trip is a boys' trip. Yes. So let's keep it straight and simple. That is what Mr. Nkabinde is saying, that let's just keep it straight and simple. May we proceed as
So, Mr. Nkabinde, I was asking you your relationship with General Mkhwanazi, and in light of what you said about being a boys' trip, it seems to be quite an intimate relationship, and you're nodding.
Very, very.
So describe to us that relationship that you had with him.
Chair, I can just give some few examples why I'm saying General Mkhwanazi is a very close friend of mine, which I even disclosed to the minister, that KZNPC is my friend. I can just give a few examples. First example, it's already on the table. He assisted me even to find a job while I was not employed. That's the first thing. Second part, General Mkhwanazi had a bereavement at his home in Pietermaritzburg, a death in his family. I flew down to KZN to support him. So when I arrived, General Mkhwanazi drove with me in my car during that funeral processes to the hall, to the funeral service, to the cemetery, just two of us, whereby a lot of police management, they were also there to support him. He even left his driver and he drove with me in my car, just two of us. As a result, even other police were saying, hey, are you close to this man? I said, yeah, no, this is my bra. Then, so you will understand, Chair, I'm at your funeral and people supporting you, but you are driving in my car, just two of us. You're having a driver, you're having bodyguards, and you even left them. That, no, I'll drive with Cedrick. So that's a sign of how we close. And a second example, just to show how close we are. General Mkhwanazi wanted to build a house in his homestead at Impendle, KZN. He came to me to help him to design that house. We designed that house for him. So a private home with the security features, you can only design that thing with a person very close to you. And over and above that, the architecture to draw a design and a plan of that house. I'm the one who recommended. He used my architect to design that house. So I'm trying to show that, and there's a person who come often to my house, knows my family. I go to his house, I know his family. He come and visit me in my house, I go, we eat in one plate together. So it's a very close. There are things me and him, we go to the grave with.
So you describe your relationship with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi as very close.
That's correct.
Your relationship with Minister Nkunu seems not to have been anywhere near as close or intimate as it was with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi.
That's correct.
So because he told us that he was surprised, even shocked, at your appointment as Chief of Staff, because according to him, you're not qualified for the job. He doesn't understand how you could have been appointed. And to a level which was effectively a level of a Chief Director.
Chair, I heard him saying that. Firstly, what came to my mind is that my friend is angry that I recorded him. He's angry at me because a friend of mine, he assisted me to find a job. He would not do so without even knowing my qualification. He had to get my qualification, get my CV. We even laughed, me and him, that we've got a same qualification. I'm having a BTech degree, Mkhwanazi is having a BTech degree. We're having a same degree. We even laughed about it, that you are the PC, I've got the same degree like yours. So I think what I concluded is that, no, he's angry, that I recorded him, so he had to just say anything that will taint my image on that. But I appreciated that he only said that.
Prepared to go beyond what you have said?
No, I'm not prepared. Like how he did, I'll follow suit.
Yeah. No, Honorable Ngola, if you listen to his earlier statement, he says the audience is too wide. And so he wants to keep it at that.
Chair, if I can just make example, I don't want to delve much into personal things, but where even General Mkhwanazi found me a job, his daughter is working there. So there are so much personal things between me and him. So I don't want to get into more personal stuff, me and him, because he also did not. So I don't want to come here like, he is still my friend. After all this thing, we're going to still sit down and say, yeah, when.
Hey, when be careful, you know, I can record the conversation.
Yeah, if you fight with my minister, leave me alone.
SC, let's proceed.
Honorable Chair.
No, we're cruising nicely. SC, may we proceed? Honorable Malim.
Chair, I'm not sure because I remember I'm struggling with this thing. I remember General Mkhwanazi said Nkabinde said he wants to introduce him to the minister, and that trip was for that purpose alone. And now Nkabinde is saying something different. Was General Mkhwanazi lying when he said you initiated the trip and said you wanted him to meet the minister? I even said to the minister, I suspect Nkabinde said the same thing to you, that he wants you to meet Mkhwanazi, and he said to Mkhwanazi, I want you to meet the minister. He was playing you guys. So was he lying when he said you initiated a trip to go, specifically to go and see the minister?